Hi guys, brought this video to you. If you're new to the channel or you're old to the channel, I just want to explain about my woodland and my Bushcraft base camp in more detail. I've been here around 3 years this April, so this will be my third year here. It's my friend's woodland. It's a permanent base camp, so which allows me to do bits and pieces and set up a camp that I can just turn up to whenever I wish and practice my skills. So if you're looking for a piece of woodland or planning on doing something like this, then you can ask people or look on various land registry for pieces of land and ask people if you could use a section of their land to practice this. I know a lot of people ask me, how did I get permission and bits and pieces, but these are good friends of mine. They've allowed me to use 7.5 acres of land, so that enables me to really involve myself in the outdoors. But a piece of woodland gives you freedom, allows you to camp how you want, enables you to light fires and practice all your bushcraft skills. So if you can get your hands on a piece of land, or if you know someone with a piece of land, a farmer's field or something like that, it just gives you that opportunity and that bit of freedom. And the beauty of it as well, with the base camp, you can turn up with minimal amount of gear, because a lot of your gear is already here in any weather condition, and be comfortable. So I've camped in pretty much all seasons, well, every season, and immersed myself in all types of weather conditions that the UK can throw at you, and been completely comfortable. That was my aim, to build a base camp and be really comfortable no matter what the temperature is, or if it's raining or windy or whatever. Just perfect. So I'll give you a little tour and show you what I've done and what I'm planning to do, and what's worked really well and what hasn't worked so well. So I've cleared all this section here. This is kind of my bird sanctuary area, so I can film wildlife, put some feeders and bits and pieces out, and I can capture wildlife because I love looking at birds and deer and bits and pieces. Everything here I've kind of made or salvaged. Over there I have my compost heap, so every autumn I collect the leaves up, put them in there and leave them a whole season to rot down. So this area here had a go at growing crops in the woodland, so I started growing some crops. Big mistake I made was I didn't do a pH test. So I put things in, and because of the acidity of the soil, it's pretty much burnt all my crops. So that first year I was kind of learning and working out what you could grow in the woodland and what I needed to do to improve the soil. So I've worked really hard on this patch. I've put some lime down, and I've got to do another pH test, but hopefully I've neutralised the acidity of the soil, so I'll be able to grow a little bit more variety. This is another thing with a base camp, you can build raised beds and things like that and grow some crops and be really self-sufficient as much as you can. Even if you're 15-20% self-sufficient at camp, it's brilliant. So this year I'm growing some slips at home, sweet potato slips, so I'm going to put all sweet potato in that bed. So it's really evasive, and it'll give me hopefully a good crop of sweet potato. Sweet potato's beautiful, but hopefully that'll take a hold in there and I can get a nice crop from there. But I've made a makeshift fence all the way around just to keep the deer out. What with that wind and that, it's taken a few panels down. These feather edge pieces are just what I salvaged from people's gardens. They were throwing them out during the storm last year, so it's going to be great with sweet potato. But that soil's looking really good, so I've mulched that out about 2 months ago, so plenty of nutrients. And the main camp, I've kind of made a nice seating area because this is south facing, so sitting there in the summer, absolutely gorgeous. Next to that is my lookout tower. I built that a couple of years ago as well. That was another project. See, this is the thing with a base camp, you can do so many projects and really immerse yourself into what you want to create. I think creativity in the woodland or for your own well-being is really healthy. This is my hammock area. So I like having several areas to chill out. If it is raining really hard, it's nice sometimes to come out the tent and sit under there. So I just positioned a hammock. This sits here permanently, so it's a lovely place to spend time. And at the back where the tarp is hanging down, my tarp got a bit hammered with the storm, so I've got to maybe repair it or replace it. But at the back of there I've got two 300 litre water butts, well, water collection system for my vegetables. So it's nice to collect water when you're at the camp. And then here I've got my pizza oven. All the clay and everything was harvested from this woodland, so it's taken a bit of a battering, but it's holding up. But that's a lovely outdoor oven. And I made the oak handle in the door, but that does kick out some heat. And then round here I've got a seating area. Made that seat a couple of years ago, so sitting there having your dinner. I kind of positioned it so I can kind of get to everything and there's not too much walking between the fire pit and the kitchen area. I think this is, you know, one of the best fire pits I've seen. I think it's so practical. You can cook on the griddle. You've got the rock. I bought all the rock in myself. The rock radiates heat back for the winter. I've got a cook stone there so I can cook on the rock, which is nice. That's kind of a little oven there. And then above that I can hang all my pots, pans, kettles and everything. And then I can also put a spit through as well, so I can spit roast joints or a chicken or something like that. So I really think that's an awesome fire pit. Not too big, so you're not burning huge amounts of wood just to cook something simple. But when that gets up to temperature, that fire pit is great. Really kicks out some heat, and it holds the heat as well. So you can't go wrong with stone. I was going to build just a standard fire pit with a wooden firewall, but this works so well. This is my lean-to. I've made that really comfortable. I've got a grill, outside barbecue grill underneath when the weather's really bad and I want to cook. A comfortable seating area. I made a wooden framework and I've just covered it. That's a basic lean-to, and then covered it with 2 layers of tarp. That's been up 3 years now. That's also taken a bit of a battering, but as you can see, I've positioned the fire pit right near where I sit, so you can sit there in the winter and the heat from the fire just radiates back at you. I've got a carving block, really handy if you like carving. Built that myself. Nice solid piece of pine, because I love my carving and making bits and pieces. And I've got a shave horse, same again, just put a few bits out. There's some of the things I've made from, you know, the carving block and the shave horse. You've got to have somewhere nice to sleep and get out the elements, so it's either a really good quality tent or, you know, a little log cabin. This has been here, it'll be 2.5 years now, and it's bulletproof. It's probably just as good as a cabin, to be honest. So it's a 10 by 10, 10 man, twin skinned tent, and That's still standing as well after the storm, but that's been absolutely bomb-proof. A necessity to camping outside is keeping warm. Get a wood burner or some form of heating, but the wood burner's been good. It's an Outbacker. It's a little bit small. That's one of the upgrades that I will do. I really like the Tent TP Eldfeld stove. That's probably what I would upgrade to, but that wood burner's been pretty good. It's seen me through some cold temperatures and damp. That's the thing with England. We don't get it really cold, but we get it really damp. So that's pretty much 10 by 10, and that's comfortable living in there. When I got the candles and me lanterns on in the evening, such a lovely place. You know, it's a lot more cosy than home, and you can hear the wind and the rain on the canvas, and you're lying in here with the wood burner on. It's great. Yeah, it's a real pleasure. So I've got everything in here really to be comfortable, just as much in here as I have at home. All my tools, my lighting, heating, comfortable bedding area, good sleeping bag. So 3 years of doing this, I've got a little bit of idea of what's what. And another essential thing I think when you start your base camp is a wood store. Try and get some of your wood out the elements so you can just turn up and you've got dry timber. Nothing worse than turning up at base camp and you want to get a fire going. So I do like mixing up. I love spending time here. I do a lot of other kind of camping as well, but this has been magical. It's been a great opportunity. Probably some of the best years of my life have been spent up here with my family, and during lockdown we spent most of a lot of bits and pieces during lockdown up here. Brought loads of food up. That's the key to it. Water, bring water up, and food, and everything else is just here in nature. But like I said, I want to get a bit more self-sufficient with my growing, and maybe bring some more of that up here, maybe some raised beds and bits and pieces. And then behind the tent I have all my toys, my archery, my crossbow and my 2.2 rifle, so I kind of use this as my shooting range. You're not in anyone's way, you're not harming anyone. It's something you can't do in England in the woods. You can't go out and start firing and shooting your crossbow or your compound bow or recurve bow. So that's another advantage of having your woodland. I've enjoyed every single camp out up here. There's not one camp out I've been in up here and not loved it. Wind, snow, rain, it's been great. And I love disconnecting from the outside world and coming in here, especially the way things are at the moment. It's just so pleasant. It's like nice getting away from it all and spending time in nature and not being immersed in tech and all the politics. So like I said, if you're thinking of doing something like this, chewing it over, you don't need masses of gear. You can just come out with a knife and a small hatchet and a saw, and you can pretty much do what I've done. And another good asset is to have a good dog with you. That's Buster. If you're new to the channel, he camps with me most of the time. Loves it up here. So I hope you found that interesting. I wanted to walk you around. Any advice you want on a base camp or woodland, just write in my comments and I'll answer it best I can. I think the way things are going as well, if you like your camping, you're going to need to maybe find someone that has a piece of land so you can practice these skills, because in England nowadays it's really hard to find somewhere to go. I do a little bit of wild camping further up north, but it's getting harder and harder. So, and I've noticed as well there's a lot more bushcraft courses going on, and I feel sorry for the younger generation. They're learning all these skills and then they walk away from the course and then they buy all the gear, and then where do they practice? So it's really hard. It's really hard to do. So something needs to be set up for the younger generation to encourage them and get them back outside to engage in the outdoors and learning thousands upon thousands of skills. You know, it's incredible what you learn. So like I said, I feel sorry for the younger generation. They want to go out and practice, and there's so many rules and restrictions which makes things really hard. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck to you if you're planning on something like this. Hope you have great fun like I have. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the great outdoors, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and follow me on Patreon. Cheers, guys. Oh, and check out my other channel, Bushwacker Overland.